Coconut cream coffee. Heaven, I'm in heaven. Ooh, it's delish. I don't want to put it down because it's toasty warm and oh so delish. But I better if I want to get this video made. Hello, my name is Flossie. This is the Grape Jelly Library, where we love to talk about books. And I am so glad that you could join me because I always look forward to your visit. Today we are going to do a tag. I am in a jovial mood and a creative mood, so I sat down and I decided that I was going to create an original tag. So that's what I did. Today is not Tuesday. We do not do tags on Wednesday, but guess what? I do. So, I have created this tag. I think it is super fun, and I am going to tag some of you out there to do this. I'm tagging all new booktubers because I like to, I like to get them in the mix. I like to, get them started and give them other things to talk about. So I tagged all brand new booktubers. I will throw a couple of my booktube friends that I have known since I started my channel. I will tag a couple of you too. If I do not tag you, feel free to do this tag. And if I do tag you, but if it's just not your thing, no hard feelings. All right, so I named this tag the Scooby Doo Book Tag. Scooby Doo has been in production since 1969 and it is still going strong. Now, who out there has never seen a Scooby Doo episode? Or 2 or 3 or 100. It is still in production. We saw it as children. Our children have seen it, and some of us, our children's children, are now seeing it. So that's why I wanted to do this original tag. 9 prompts long, and let's just get into it. Number 1, Zoinks. Name a book that shocked you. For me, it is A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julianne Murphy and Sierra Simone. Innocently enough, browsing the books at Target in October, brought it home for my Christmas Eve read, began to settle in, get comfy, cozy, in a festive, Christmassy mood, began to read it and said, what the heck do I hold in my hands? It's beyond. It's too hot. It's too steamy. It's too crossed the threshold of romance, and it has gone into, a whole different kind of territory. So that book to me was extremely shocking. I thought I would give it another try come Valentine's Day, and it didn't work for me. And I even thought about entertaining it on in Garbogust, but no, I just can't. So I donated that book. I donated that stinker. All right, number 2, Jinkies. Name a book that made you feel weird, yucky, not yourself. For me, it is two books, one more so than the other. The first is always gonna be 1984. If you watch a couple of my videos, you'll note that I say each and every time, after finishing that book, I needed a shower. I felt that filthy. The second book that didn't jive with me, I felt weird and yucky about, was Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale. Was not myself reading that, not at all. Number 3, red herring. Name a book that ended entirely different than what you had expected. The Picture of Dorian Gray. Never saw that ending coming. Love that book. Annotated that book. I annotated the shit out of that book. And even in doing so, never saw the ending coming. Number 4, would you do it for a Scooby snack? Name a book you were reluctant to read. You only read it because it was mainstream. For me, that is George Orwell's Animal Farm. I was reluctant to read it, A, because it's George Orwell and the whole 1984 thing. I did pick the book up several times within my lifetime of reading, and I always opted on, yeah, that's a big no for me. But one day I got brave, I purchased it, I read it, and you know, I wasn't mad about it. So, you know, that was a good thing that came from that one. So yeah, keep your vision, you know, wide and your mind open, because you just never know. Number 5, a ghost. Name a book that scared the daylights out of you. Okay, so I'm trying to peruse my mind, and I don't think that there is any entirely. I am participating in Horror Mayhem, and there is one on my radar that I think will do that trick, but I haven't gotten to it yet. That book is The Haunting of the Sally House. I believe that's the name. That book, I think that book will do the trick for me. Stay tuned. We'll find out in May. Number 6, Ruh-Roh Raggy. Name a book that you had second thoughts about reading because once you started reading it, you found it to be just too disturbing. I'm going to say, for me, that is Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica. I, you know, wasn't really on board with the concept of all the animals were poisoned and we could no longer, the meat was no longer fit for human consumption. So what had happened is cannibalism became the thing, and I tried to do that, but I just couldn't. There was too many animal references, and hey, you do your thing and I will do mine. But I just, I made a conscious decision a long time ago that there's just way too many food choices out there, that I no longer needed to go down that avenue. And so for me, reading that book, it was, generally disturbing. So there was that, Number 7, there's a very logical explanation for all of this. Name a book that you were able to predict the outcome of. For me, it is one of my all-time favorite books. I just recently read it this year, and it is A Confederacy of Dunces. Love that book so much because of the character build up or lack thereof. I was able to arrive at, you know, the conclusion or what the outcome of that storyline was going to be. I highly recommend that one. If you want a chuckle, there were several moments in that book that made me laugh. Yeah, the hot dog cart, the dirty hot dog cart, the mother in her tattered house coat. Yeah, several key points in the book that I will carry with me and hold, you know, deeply in my heart, that'll always make me smile. That's a wonderful book. So if you don't know what you should read and you're in the mood for something lighthearted and fun, I definitely recommend A Confederacy of Dunces. Okay. All right. Number 8. Hey, you guys, look. Name a book that revealed something you didn't know. Okay, so it, for me, is the story, or the story of Stevie Wonder by James Haskins. I just did a video on that, and I did not know, or I did not realize that blind people who have never had vision do not dream in pictures. So that was a revelation for me, and a very grateful revelation for me. Number 9. I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids. Name a book that focuses on a group of people as opposed to one singular protagonist. For me, that is Kate Moore's The Radium Girls. Fantastic book, phenomenal. It takes us through an era where radium was recently discovered. It was new to the world, and they were using it in the painting of watches for World War II, so that the numbers on the watch would glow in the dark. So these women would dip and lick their paintbrushes and intricately paint these numbers on the face of the watch. And, you know, this radium glowed. So if they had a hot date, they would put it in their hair or put it on their cheeks to accentuate their beauty. Some of them were silly and even painted, you know, a tooth or two to smile at themselves in the mirror in the dark, resulting in something awful, horrible, horrendous. But it is a fantastic book. It is one of my all-time favorite books. You know, I've gotten so many people to read that book, and they have all said they loved it, except for one. One person couldn't finish it because she hated it. She had no interest in it. And I was like, what? How could you not like Kate Moore's The Radium Girls? Phenomenal. It is like forever going to be in my top 10 list of favorite books of all time. I love it. Tag some awesome booktubers to do this. Okay, so here's a new channel that came into my booktube stream. It is the channel Steve's Books. If you have not subscribed to his channel, please go over and do so now. Steve, if you are listening, please feel free to take this invitation and do this tag if you will. I would be interested in seeing what your answers are. Number 2 is Ryan's Bookshelf. Again, please go over to his channel, give him a subscribe. In the booktube world, we love to support one another, and we love to show off our booktube friends and encourage them to keep making content and keep showing up because we love to see it. Number 3, Books Cause Insomnia. That's a great name. And they certainly do, don't they? Head on over to her channel, give her a like and a subscribe. And if you would please do this tag, I would certainly look forward to hearing your answers. All right, so now I'm going to tag some of my booktube friends that have been there for me from the get-go. And I am going to tag Shannon from Shannon's Bookish Musings and Music, Alan from Big Hard Books, Greg from Another Bibliophile Reads, MJ from Reading This Life, Bandana Book Mom, and Kelly Reads a Lot. If you would kindly please take the time to do this tag, I would love to hear your answers. Until my next video, know that I love you. Be well, be good, be reading, and may all your book dreams come true.